Diane Abbott, the first black woman MP in the UK, has been allowed to stand as a Labour candidate again. The whole debacle over Diane Abbott's candidacy isn't because Keir Starmer wants her in Parliament. It's because he's bowing to the outrage from the Labour movement over his treatment of her. In recent briefings, Starmer has been accused of lying about the disciplinary process Diane Abbott has been forced to undergo. This process, which Starmer directly influences, was actually completed months ago. No trigger ballot was conducted for her deselection. Yet the right-wing faction in charge of the party appears to be making up rules as they go. For most party members, Starmer's attitude towards Diane Abbott has left a bad taste in the mouth. Abbott, already the most abused member of Parliament, has had to endure further indignity from her own party leader. A few months ago, there was a parliamentary debate about the racist and misogynistic abuse Abbott faced from Tory donor Frank Hester. Shockingly, she wasn't even called in by the Speaker, Lindsay Hoyle. Many believe this omission had Starmer's fingerprints all over it. The Labour Party used this issue to appeal for donations, but failed to mention Abbott's name in their email. The spite and factionalism within Labour won't be forgotten in the Afro-Caribbean community. Not content with alienating Muslim voters over his stance on Gaza, Starmer is now risking losing black votes too. Because of Diane Abbott's national standing, Starmer has been forced to backtrack on her nomination. However, other left-wing candidates haven't been so lucky. Lloyd Russell-Moore has been barred from standing again in Brighton Kemp Town, and Faiza Shaheen has been blocked in Chingford. A recent graph sent to Labour members shows a collapse in donations. It's easy to see why, with so much anger over the treatment of Diane Abbott and other left-wing candidates. Meanwhile, right-wing functionaries and non-entities are being dropped into unsuspecting constituencies, where they have no connections and even less support. NEC members like Unison's Mark Ferguson, Usdall's Michael Wheeler, and Communities Union Kate Dearden have been given seats. Luke Akehurst, director of We Believe in Israel, has been placed in North Durham. All these selections were made directly by NEC panels under emergency procedures. The entire process reeks of factionalism and unelected bureaucracy. Starmer and his General Secretary, David Evans, seem determined to distance themselves from Jeremy Corbyn's leadership. Unlike Corbyn, who tried to appease the right wing, Starmer is ruthlessly building a parliamentary Labour Party of his own supporters. These moves from Starmer has isolated the party from its members and trade union base more than ever before. Many constituency Labour parties are frustrated with unknown careerists being dropped on them, and open selection may come back onto the agenda as CLPs demand more democratic choices. Despite all this, Labour is still expected to win the upcoming election, largely due to a massive groundswell of hatred for the Tories. The Institute of Fiscal Studies reports that living standards in the UK have underperformed since 2010, and many households are struggling. Scandals surrounding the current government continue to erode their support. From the post office scandal to NHS lies about infected blood and ministerial indifference to raw sewage dumping, the Tory government's credibility is in tatters. Voters desperate for change see Labour as the only viable alternative. However, a Labour victory will not mean the end of a political debate within the Labour movement. Starmer's leadership may come under challenge as the new administration's policies are scrutinised. Real socialist ideas could gain traction within the trade unions and the Labour Party. So while the road ahead is challenging, the fight for democratic and socialist policies within Labour continues. Please like, share and comment on the video. Subscribe for more updates as news on the general election develops. Go to our website at www.lefthorizons.com and we will see you next time.